Are you trying to focus on something important right now, but are instead procrastinating by watching this YouTube video about some random Asian guy juggling while giving productivity advice? Well, hey, what's up guys? I am Jack, and I am a 3-time world record holder in solving colorful 80s toys blindfolded. And today, I'm going to teach you some tips on helping you stay focused. So the first tip is to remove distractions. Because our brain can only really focus on one thing at a time. So take for instance, if you're studying and you're checking emails or Discord every minute, then you're not going to get much stuff done because every single time I switch between those tasks, first of all, you're not really multitasking. Your brain can only really focus your attention on one at a time. And also every single time you do that, there's something that's called attention residue that's left over. So when you switch from one task to the other, you're still kind of thinking about the other task in the back of your mind. And the more you do that, the worse it'll get. So that leads me into the second idea, which is the idea of avoiding multitasking with an asterisk. So you might be like, hey Jack, you're kind of solving a Rubik's Cube one-handed while talking to me right now. But I think it's the idea of how you should have one complex task that's disproportionately difficult that you want to focus on. In this case, me speaking to the camera and conveying my ideas. But if you're doing something like walking or listening to music, or if you've been too addicted to solving Rubik's Cubes that you can kind of do this without much mental effort, then I think it's reasonable to multitask, but you should only really have one cognitively demanding task at the same time. Because if you put more than one, then things might get a bit trickier. Maybe still doable, but definitely suboptimal. So the third tip is to make sure that you are trying to practice concentrating for longer periods of time, because our ability to focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the better it'll get. And also, I think some science somewhere said that the optimal amount of work / rest time was 52 minutes and then 17 minutes for break. But it also means that you have a higher chance of getting into the deep state or the flow state of work, deep work or flow state of work, which basically is where you get most of your productive and best stuff done. And it also makes your work feel a bit more complete at the end, unlike my juggling skills. And the fourth tip is to take a break. So, as I kind of alluded to before, your brain needs time to chill out. And also, when you're focusing on something in the moment, you're only really focused on that thing and not about the bigger picture. It's when you're in the shower washing your crotch when you come up with the best ideas, like coming up with completely new life trajectories. And I think people underestimate the importance of figuring out what to focus on, and they only focus on what they want to focus, the thing that they're focusing on right now. So just be aware of that, because that's important. And the fifth tip is to be healthy. So this is kind of obvious, but people kind of neglect it, which may or may not include me as well. So just be sure to sleep well, eat well, exercise, have a social life, which I kind of forgot to do last year, which kind of took a bombardment on my mental health. So it's probably easier now because lockdown's over, but be sure to make sure that you're putting effort into all those areas. And once you've done that, then I think you've covered all the areas of focus that I deem to be quite important. And I hope that's useful, and thank you for watching. Bye.